Hello students, welcome to today's video. We have already started our second chapter, the consumer equilibrium, and we have discussed a few concepts of consumer equilibrium, some basic concepts, and we have seen the two types of utility, total utility and marginal utility, and their relationships, that how total utility and marginal utility are related. Today we will take a step further and we will go through this concept which is known as the law of diminishing marginal utility. Well, students, from our last class we already know that what is marginal utility. That marginal utility is the addition made to the total utility from the consumption of one more extra unit of the commodity. That means whenever we consume one more extra unit of a commodity, we will be having some amount of utility. We will be acquiring some amount of utility. And whatever is the additional utility we get from the consumption of one more extra unit of the commodity consumed, that utility is basically known as the marginal utility. And this law of diminishing marginal utility states that additional benefit that a consumer derives from the consumption of one more extra unit of the commodity starts falling as we consume more and more of the same commodity. That means when a consumer, okay, let me write it even, this law states that this law states that when a consumer when a consumer is consuming more and more of the same commodity, more and more of the same commodity, the additional benefit, the additional benefit that a person derives, the additional benefit that a person derives from the consumption of one more extra unit of the commodity starts falling. Whenever a consumer consumes more and more of the same commodity, the additional benefit that a person derives from the consumption of one more extra unit of the commodity, this one more extra unit, the additional benefit, yes, the additional benefit that a person derives from consumption of one more extra unit of the commodity is basically our marginal utility, and this marginal utility starts falling whenever we consume more and more of the same commodity. Say for example, when we are very thirsty, we are very much in need of water, and while drinking the water, how much satisfaction the first glass of water will give us, the same amount of satisfaction will not be given by the second glass of water. Obviously, the second glass of water will bring us some more satisfaction, but this will not be as much higher as the first glass of water. And subsequently, if we keep on drinking third glass of water, fourth glass of water, fifth glass of water, the additional benefit that we are getting from each glass of water, by drinking each glass of water, the additional benefit we are getting, this additional benefit will start falling. And this is the simple law of diminishing marginal utility, which says that whenever a consumer consumes more and more of the same commodity, we need to keep in mind that we should not consume some different commodities. We need to keep consuming the same commodity. Whenever we consume same commodity more and more, the marginal utility, which is the additional benefit that a person derives from the consumption of one more extra unit of the commodity, starts falling. So this is the law of diminishing marginal utility, the statement of diminishing marginal utility. Well, this law is based on certain assumptions. There are two assumptions. This law is based upon some assumptions. The first assumption is homogeneity. Homogeneity in consumption. Homogeneity in consumption indicates that whatever we were consuming, that means whatever the consumer is consuming, the consumption unit should be homogeneous. That means there should not be any discrepancy in the consumption unit. The thirsty example, the water and the thirst example. If we drink water in a glass, that will be, and if we keep drinking this water in a glass, first glass of water will give more satisfaction, second glass of water will give lesser satisfaction, third glass of will give some more lesser satisfaction. So in this way, the marginal benefit, the marginal satisfaction that we are getting, the marginal utility that you are getting will start falling. And now, giving a thirsty person a spoon of water will not give us any satisfaction. We need to give him or her a glass of water. That the size of commodity consumed should be somewhat of adequate size. We will not give any thirsty person, or definitely we, and forget about we, I myself will not take a spoon of water when I am thirsty. I will take a glass of water when I am thirsty. Similarly, we all will not take a spoon of water when we are thirsty. We will take a glass of water whenever we are thirsty. And it will not be something like that. At first, we will take a glass of water, and second time, we will take a spoon of water. We will be taking glasses of water each at a time. First glass, second glass, third glass of water, and so on and so forth. So this homogeneity in consumption is saying this, that whatever we will consume should be of somewhat of adequate size, adequate amount. It should not be like one spoon of water at the first place, then one glass of water at the second place, then half spoon of water at the third place. It will not go like that way. The consumption unit should be homogeneous. Shape, size, color, amount would be same. The taste also should be same. Whenever we are consuming, say suppose we are consuming a biscuit. At the first place, we will take one biscuit second time we will not take any half biscuit, or we will not take some any other biscuit. At the first place we are having hide and seek biscuit. At the second place we have to take hide and seek biscuit to get this flow operational. If we take at the second place a marigold biscuit, this flow will not be operating. So this first assumption is basically saying that whatever we consume, the consumption unit should be homogeneous. Homogeneous in terms of shape, size, color, and all that. In every aspect, the consumption unit should be homogeneous. The second assumption is that continuity in consumption. The consumption unit must be continuous. There should not be any time gap. That whenever we are thirsty, we will take 2 or 3 or 4 glass of water at a time, one by one, but on a single time frame, continuously. It will not be like that. Right now, I will take a glass of water, and 2 hours or 3 hours later, I will take the second glass of water. Or while having the biscuit, I will take one bite now, and I will take another bite yesterday or tomorrow. So this will not be something like that. So we need to take consumption in a continuous manner. We need to do consumption in a continuous manner for this law get operational. This continuity is not something like that. Today we are taking one bite, and yesterday we have taken another bite, and tomorrow we will take another bite. No, the consumption should be continuous. If we are taking the biscuit, we will eat the biscuit right now. We will take 3 bites or 4 bites right at a time. Not like one bite now, then another bite 2 days later or 3 days later, third bite some 5 or 6 days later. Not like that. The consumption should be continuous. So these are the two assumptions associated with the law of diminishing marginal utility, and this can be explained with the help of a diagram and a table. So first prepare a table. Units consumed, first make a total utility column and marginal utility column. So units consumed starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leave this total utility column. I am just filling up marginal utility. First one will be nil. The total utility for this one will be 0. Marginal utility, let's start it from 30. Okay. Even 30. I'm sorry. Let's start it from 50. Okay. And I am taking a gap of 10. 10 interval 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Now let's fill up our total utility. 50, 50 plus 40, 90, 90 plus 30 is 120, 120 plus 20 is 140, 140 plus 10 it is 150. So we have made up a table. Now let's represent this table in a graphical format. First, draw two axes, vertical and horizontal. In the horizontal axis, we will measure units consumed. units consumed, and in the vertical axis we will just take marginal utility. No need to draw total utility, but for sake of this table we have to make the total utility column, but here in the diagram we will just fill up this marginal utility. So now let's plot marginal utility against units consumed. For 0 it's nil, okay, for 1 it is 50, for 1 it is 50, for 2 it is 40, for 3 it is 30, for 4 it is 20, for 5 it is 10. Okay, now let's join them, join all these dots. We will get a straight line sloping downwards. So now if we plot this marginal utility against units consumed, we will get the points A, B, C, D and E, and by joining all these points we get our downward sloping marginal utility curve. Let's give it a name, marginal utility MU. The marginal utility curve is represented by MU, which is the downward sloping curve, and this indicates that, and from the table also we can find this, that whenever units consumed is increasing, whenever the consumer is consuming more and more of units, see, whenever the consumer is consuming more and more of the same unit, the marginal utility starts falling. The marginal utility gradually starts falling. Here also see, the marginal utility starts falling. Here in one side the units consumed is increasing, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, the units consumed are increasing one by one, but the marginal utility is basically declining. The marginal utility is falling down. Hence we have got a downward sloping curve indicating that the marginal utility falls whenever we consume more and more of the same unit. And this law has some reasons for its operation. The reasons, I'm just wiping this table. If you want to draw the table, you can rewind this video a little backwards and we can make the table. Reasons for DMU. DMU means diminishing marginal utility. I am just writing in short. Reasons for operation of diminishing marginal utility. One reason is that satisfaction of particular want. Satisfaction of particular want indicates that although we know that human wants are unlimited and all of them cannot be satisfied, but if we take any one want, any particular single one, any particular one, then and then we can say that satisfaction of any particular want is possible. I am just referring to the thirst example. Whenever we are thirsty, we were in so much in need of water. That means we need water, and this thirst satisfaction can be easily resolved by taking water. Whenever we will take water, our thirst will be get disappear, and this satisfaction we will satisfy our thirstiness. So satisfaction of any particular want is possible, and whenever we will try to satisfy any one of our particular want, then and then whenever we will consume more of the same commodity, the marginal utility will start falling. Whenever we are starving, we will take some food. The first unit of food, say suppose we are taking bread, the first unit of bread will give us some more satisfaction, the second unit of bread will give lesser satisfaction, and if we keep on consuming, then and then our starvingness will get disappear, and we can say that we have satisfied at least our one. This we were starving, and we have satisfied that. So satisfaction of particular one, any particular one, is basically the reason of operation of diminishing marginal utility. That means whenever we try to satisfy any of our particular one, the additional benefit that a person derives from consumption of one more extra unit of the commodity starts falling. And another reason is that commodities are not perfect substitute. This represents that second reason represents that not all commodities are perfectly substitute. That means we cannot take one commodity in place of other. Whenever we are starving, we need to take some heavy food. At that time, if we drink water, this thing will not give us that much of satisfaction. So this is the another reason for the operation of diminishing marginal utility. So students, this is all for this video. We will be meeting in our next video, and I really hope that you have got this concept well, and if you face any trouble, feel free to comment below and I will get to you as soon as possible. Till then, stay safe, stay strong. Thank you.